Snoop Dogg in the house. What's up, my fellow spooky fans? It is October 2nd. It is me, your guide to all things spooky, the OGGM, coming to you undead at 8:11 in the morning on this, the second day of my favorite month of the year, Spooktober 2023. And why are we looking at the face of Snoop to the D, to the O, to the G, to the G? Because there's this story going around that there's an AI dungeon master based upon Snoop Dogg. And as much as I would love that, no, that's not actually what's going on. So there's stories like, oh, this is what Wizards of the Coast wanted to do with the VTT and the OGL. No, sorry. Snoop Dogg is not working with Wizards of the Coast. Snoop Dogg is not an employee of Hasbro. Snoop Dogg has not purchased Hasbro. Snoop Dogg, as far as I know, might know what D&D is, but I don't think he plays D&D, but you never know. I mean, I think TJ would have let me know. So no. Just, there's some very large truck going by my house. It's very noisy. What the hell is that? I have never seen one of those before. Some weird blue thing. And Steve's attacking the windows for some reason. All right, so no. Just to clarify, Snoop Dogg is not playing D&D. He's not running a game of D&D. He is not an employee of Wizards of the Coast. He is not an employee of Hasbro. He has not purchased Hasbro. There is a chat bot that is based upon Snoop Dogg. Right now, it's pretty much just an animated GIF that sits in the corner. It's like any other chat bot. It's like a step below a VTuber avatar, and it has a couple recorded lines that sound like Snoop, and the voice vaguely sounds like Snoop. And that's about it. Yeah. And then I suppose like any other chat bot, you could have it running in the side while you're chatting. Instead of your face, would have Snoop's face. And I suppose if you opened up like Chat GPI or anything else that does AI chat, you could then say, hey, run me through a D&D game, I guess, or, generate me an adventure or whatever else people do. I don't know how people do Chat GI to play solo games, but I know they do. And then you could just have that chat bot that looks like Snoop running. And then every time it, talked, it would kind of sound like Snoop. And it would say Snoop related things. And I mean, it looks like Snoop recorded a couple lines and stuff like that. But generally, it just tries its best to emulate what it thinks Snoop would say. And it sounds more or less like Snoop, but it is not Snoop. Sorry. So as disappointing as it is, none of us will be playing at a Dungeons and Dragons game with Snoop D to the O to the G to the G as the game master, as awesome as that sounds. I mean, I don't know. I take edibles. I've smoked pot. I think Snoop's awesome. I think he'd make a break. He'd be a very chill DM, right? But if you messed with him, he'd be like, I put a mother's fucking cap. Treasure would be weed, I suppose. I don't know. At this point in my age, at 57 years old, if Snoop wanted to run a D&D game, I think that would be a really chill, fun experience. But no, sorry for anybody who's about to start stupid rumors that Snoop has been employed by Wizards of the Coast to write D&D games. Let's just nip that bud in the head. And if you don't believe me, you can just go read the goddamn story. All right. What is going on with D&D Minecraft this Monday in our tabletop role-playing game news? I forgot to say sextant. This is my one chance a week to say the word sextant and get away with it and forget to say it. Let's pull out our sextants and showered our courses. Okay, so D&D Minecraft. I talked about it the other day. People were like, why would I want a D&D Minecraft DLC? And I'm like, why wouldn't you? And somebody else said, well, why would I want a VTT that's blocky? And I was like, have you not played Minecraft? Minecraft physics in a D&D game or any tabletop role-playing game would be ridiculously fun. I mean, maybe not long term, because I think maybe it would get boring. But if you had the ability to have the creativity of Minecraft and somehow port it over to actual D&D, so you could have a Minecraft style character going through a Minecraft style world with Minecraft style physics, but doing all the wacky stuff that you can do in Dungeons and Dragons. How fucking weird, awesome would that be? Every single solitary, we can't get over there. We can't get through that. Completely gone due to the creativity of Minecraft. Where else can you knock down a tree with your hands, take a block out of the tree from the middle of the tree, and the tree is still standing there? And then you can turn that block of wood that you have punched out of the tree into a sword. And then you can walk over to Boulder's Gate and set it on fire, or swarm it with an infinite amount of cows, or all the other wonderful things you can do with Minecraft. Build a water slide coming out of Castle Greyhawk. I think I don't know. So during that story, I mentioned that there was a Minecraft VTT. It has since vanished. I remember about 2 years ago, seeing that somebody was doing a Minecraft style voxel box style VTT. But I looked it up today because I said I would, and it doesn't exist anymore. So maybe it was just something being kickstarted, or maybe I just had a fever dream and imagined a Minecraft VTT. So the DLC is still advertised as being on the site, but if we go to the site and press the get this item button, it is the same thing that we saw before. Just a blank page that says open store. So I thought this was just my computer, because we know my computer is a piece of crap, but other people have told me they tried it and had the same thing. Now, you would think if this was actually existed by Monday, and it's been out for over a week and a half, if not longer, 2 weeks, you would at least see one playthrough online and one playthrough on Twitter or Twitch. Critical Role plays Minecraft D&D. You think we would have seen that by now, or at least a review. But I personally haven't seen it. If anybody else has seen anything regarding it, let me know. There are articles talking about it, saying it exists, and then it links you to the D&D Beyond article. And then the D&D Beyond article links you to the Minecraft store. And if you go to the Minecraft store, you get to the link that says, press this button to download the DLC. But then when you press the button, nothing still happens. So, again, not a complaint. I'm not complaining. I think a Minecraft, I'd play it. And I'm sure you guys would want to see me play it. But right now, yeah. So, again, nipping any weird rumors that certain idiots might try to perpetrate in the name of the Dungeons and Dragons cult. This, as far as I know, does not exist yet. And any of the articles talking about it, show me a playthrough. Show me a playthrough. I would love this game. I would love to be able to download this game. Right now, this game does not exist. I have tried to download it 3 separate times through 2 different browsers. And other people have contacted me and said, yeah, no. All right, moving on. This thing is in the news. I guess Hasbro disease has synced into Netflix, of all places. Well, you kind of got to feel that Netflix has always sort of been on a permanent downward swipe. Whenever they have something good, they tend to ruin it. Case in point, Dragon Prince, which I watched the new series. Well, I tried to watch the new season last night, but it is just awful. I don't understand how Dragon Prince went from the awesome first season with the amazing world building and, confronting ideas of like politics and like colonization and like, what are the humans think going to kill the dragons was an epic quest in the name of good. But what did the dragons think when the humans showed up and stole all their stuff? And maybe they, the first season and the second season were amazing. The current season apparently is food puns and fart jokes. So apparently, other than Stranger Things, when Netflix gets their hands on things, they inevitably seem to ruin it. Also, Sex Education, the most current season, sucks. And they let half the cast go. So Rebel Moon, the role-playing game, looks like it was ready to go. Zack Snyder, Netflix, Evil Genius Games, were all in bed together, and then Netflix went yoink, yoinked the carpet underneath Evil Genius's games' feet, gobbled up all the IP that they'd been made, including the World Bible. And from what I understand, they did a lot of work on the World Bible for Rebel Moon, because let's face it, there's only so much you can do in the self-contained story of the movie that is Rebel Moon, that was supposed to be the Rebel Moon TV series that was supposed to be a Star Wars. So they had to work with this, create a brand new role-playing game world based upon a movie that was supposed to may or may not be a series, and make it unique enough that nobody would go, oh yeah, that's just Zack Snyder's failed Star Wars experiment. But yeah, now it is, and they gobbled it up. The best part, if you know, of this story, in the apparently Hasbro is deciding to, I mean, not Hasbro, Netflix is deciding to adopt some of the business practices of Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast specifically, is they went to IGN. They showed people what they'd done so far on the Rebel Moon game. A representative from Netflix was with them talking about the Rebel Moon tabletop role-playing game stuff and the Rebel Moon TV show. They had okayed the fact that the people from Evil Genius were passing out, you know, promo art and advertising art and showing stuff. A week later, they yank the IP out from underneath Evil Genius under the claim that Evil Genius violated the non-compete and violated the copyright by showing people the artwork and the product, which allowed them to then gobble up all the work that Evil Genius has done, including the World Bible, which, as we said, expanded way beyond anything, apparently, from what I've read, Snyder had done and Netflix had done. So, yeah, their claim was, no, you showed stuff and you talked about the game without our permission. And so we're yanking it away from you because you violated the confidentiality. And in response, Evil Genius was like, here's a picture of me at the conference with your representative holding up the product. So, yeah. And then Netflix went, do you want $50,000? And just to call this thing. And right now, Evil Genius is going, no, I want to continue this lawsuit because I don't want to settle out of court. I mean, this might be, you know, 50 grand might be the only money I ever make off this. I mean, we don't know if Rebel Moon's the tabletop role-playing game had a market or not. I suppose it depends upon how successful the movie was and how much they could convince people it's not Star Wars. They're like, no, we're gonna go do this because either A, we think we can get more money out of this, and B, we want to save our name. We don't want people to go around going, oh yeah, Evil Genius Games violated confidentiality. Evil Genius Games did this, and this. And like, no, he didn't. You gave us permission. Again, here's a picture of me at the conference with your dude, Steve, holding up the artwork. And now you're saying you never gave us the permission? What, Steve was just conveniently there? Way to go, Netflix. Way to go. Anything else going on? If anybody cares, there's an expansion to Monster of the Week. Monster of the Week is a powered by the Apocalypse game. It basically emulates Supernatural, Buffy, whatever, you know, all these Supernatural TV shows where every week there's a brand new monster. And this one now explores monsters all around the world, not just United States based. Yeah, I think the Rebel Moon thing is probably the top story. We do have some stuff from Wizards of Coast because we couldn't make it a day without Wizards. Wizards has let us see in the table of contents for Planescape. Oh, look, here's one of the 70 new pages of art. There's Mert. Here's the doors to Sigil. You know, this is somebody with a boombox. Oh, no, that's a Morden. Okay, so here's our table of contents. We got 5 pages of normal stuff. We got 6, 12, about 8 pages of options. Page 14 starts us with what is sigil. And 59 ends us with that. Then we got some information on the lands around sigil. And then we've got some of the other realms. No mention of what do you call it? Radiant Citadel. You would think there would be like Radiant Citadel and Sigil. The wards. Let's see other realms. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. No, okay, yep. Outlands. So here's a guide to the city, and then some example realms. Is that where we're going to have the actual rules for planescaping and adventure, dimension traveling, and maybe creating your own, or like explaining the inside of a portable cube, or the portable hole. And then we've got the second book, which is got the 51 pages of monsters. Remembering that 70% of that is art. And then that's about it. So you could pay $50, $70, $100 for this, or you could go to drive-through and get the old one, the original Planescape box set, digitized PDF for $14. And get all this, but not without the Wizards of the Coast disease. No, I don't see the safety tools in here though, so that's kind of cool. Or how to role play or any of that, or so that's interesting. That's not in there. What's going to be our main complaint about this, other than you dumbed down the danger of the Planescape and dumbed down the danger of Sigil? Probably the no actual rules for how planescaping works, or how somebody could do it on their own, or how the gates work, or whatever, and explaining all the different interdimensional magic items that have plagued D&D for years. Even a little, what happens if you put a portable hole in a bag of holding? That would, kind of sort of fit the whole theme. Where does the sphere of annihilation go to? What happens when you draw that card that traps you in another universe where you're being tormented by a powerful being? Planes actual rules for stuff like that. I think that's probably what people would want, or people are going to complain aren't in the game. I don't know. Looks pretty harmless. So that's all our news for Monday. We know that the stories we are going to set our course, get on our compass, look at the stars through our SEXTANT. There, I managed to find a way to see it. It is Monday. So I'm assuming by Wednesday we will have the how to play live action One Piece in D&D articles, if they're not yet, because the One Piece Netflix thing has been up for a week now and just got okayed for a second season, and is, Netflix's current hit. So maybe if they can milk the popularity of One Piece right now, people will forget the whole thing with Rebel Moon. Other than that, the VTT story for Minecraft is not existing. And finally, the Snoop Dogg is the new AI DM that's owned by Hasbro, or whatever else people are saying about it. No, it's not an AI DM. It's a chatbot. It's a chatbot. Okay, it just talks. You type something in and it says it out. You could use it to replace your face when you're in digital chats. You could log on to a system that uses a chatbot and then have the little icon talking there going, you walk down a hole and smoke a joint. In the hole, there are 4 ogres. Let's smoke a joint. I mean, it'll sound vaguely like Snoop, that's about it. At least that's what I'm reading. I could be wrong. I suppose we have to try and find it and see what it looks like if you want me to. If you want me to try and find the Snoop AI chatbot and play around with it, let me know. Otherwise, that's our news stories for today. Hope you appreciate it. Till next time, you know what to do. Snoop, there it is. To the Snoop to the D.